Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda, and this is my brother, Eric.
How's it going, everybody? I hope everybody had a good week this week.
It's a good week for me. How is it for you, Eric?
It's not too bad. Not too bad. Our schedule is getting wild with the kids' sports schedule that's going on. But
yeah,
today it's okay because we ordered the Joey special, 2 pizzas.
2 pizzas. Nice. Yeah, that's never a bad idea. Friday night.
No, never a bad
all
idea.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for the long weekend. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. But I'm very excited to continue this discussion about rerunning Friends because these 4 episodes were great.
Ooh, boy, these were some good ones here.
Yeah. We left the Friends last with Joey finally shaking his stalker after being cast as Dr. Drake Ramore on Days of Our Lives, which was also the end of part 1 of the Super Bowl episode. And we're kicking things off with this discussion around part 2 of the Super Bowl episode. And I guess when this aired, this was just one long episode, but it's split up into 2, and where we cut it off just happened to be right in the middle. So.
Well, I mean, it was one. Yeah, it's funny how that works out. There have been 2 two-part episodes,
yes.
and we've cut it in between both times. It's funny how that shook out. But this was definitely aired as one big episode, like after the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah.
And they clearly designed it to be 2 separate episodes because there's no correlation whatsoever other than Marcel.
Yeah,
true. The other storylines have different, guest stars. They wrap themselves up. There is no like lingering wait or pause or something for something to finish in part 2. The only thing we're waiting on is seeing what happens with Ross and Marcel. And so good. Yeah,
no,
I know.
which our favorite character. He's back yet again.
I'm just so glad this is over. So this is season 2, episode 12, the one after the Super Bowl, part 2. And in this episode, Ross is still trying to reconnect with Marcel, while Chandler is reconnecting with and now dating Susie Moss, an old classmate, when she sets him up for some embarrassment. Rachel tries to ask Jean-Claude Van Damme out for Monica, but instead, she ends up accepting a date with him. Phoebe forces a swap between them, and more chaos ensues. So, Amanda, what do you want to start with?
Well, so they're on the Monkey Shine set, and the whole gang is there, I believe.
The whole gang's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole gang is there, and Chandler, he gets spotted by Susie Moss, who is played by none other than Julia Roberts. And I remember I read Matthew Perry's book where I found out that he and Julia Roberts were actually dating.
How about that?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. Yep. So just a little background there. I just thought of that again when I was rewatching this episode. So this plot line's pretty goofy, pretty silly, and basically Julia Roberts spots Chandler, who she had grown up with. She reminds him of who she is because he had pulled up her skirt for the whole school to see her underpants. And he was like, oh yeah, Susie Moss, that's right. And so, but she kind of shook it off. That. Yeah, she kind of didn't really make a big deal of it in that moment, but clearly she was holding on to that issue.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, a lot of people myself included, I'm sure. I'm trying to think back at this point. Oh yeah, there's some like moments that, you just, maybe it's an embarrassing moment one way or another from your grade school or high school days, and you just never forget it. Never.
Where you were
And
embarrassed or you embarrassed someone else?
The ones that I think people remember the most, and I'll include myself in this, would be moments where I'm embarrassed, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if I embarrass somebody else, I don't even remember doing it.
Right.
But with the moments when you're embarrassed, that's when it's the worst. And Chandler kind of falls into this. I don't think he immediately recognized, oh yeah, that was me that did that. My bad. But when she goes through it all, jogs his memory real quick.
Yep. And I mean, we didn't see a school picture of her when she was a child, but he said something along the lines of, wow, you grew up really nicely, didn't you? You did a good job of that.
Good job growing up.
Good job growing up, yes. So they're dating and kind of flash forward and just how things play out between them. They are kind of messing around, and then she convinces him to wear her underwear to dinner.
Chandler was willing.
Yeah.
He was all about it.
Yes.
He's probably never been asked that in his whole life.
Yeah.
And he was all about it. And you could tell because even then when they get to dinner and she's coaxing him to go to the bathroom with her, he like jumps up from the table and is like, I'm going to the bathroom now.
Oh my God.
Yep. He's just so excited about it. So he does.
Yeah. And then, so they get to, and meanwhile, Chandler is out to dinner with Susie, and Ross is there and Joey is there. They're both there. Was Rachel there? Why am I not picturing?
It was an assistant from the movie.
That's right. Yeah.
And I don't know the actress's name. I never looked it up. I could look it up.
That's right.
Now.
Yes.
But that woman apparently is in almost every Julia Roberts movie.
Oh, so the woman who was out with Joey.
Yes. Who was like a production assistant.
Yes.
On the show. She is apparently in tons of them.
Yeah.
It's bit characters, maybe doesn't even have a line. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a Julia Roberts movie aficionado.
Yeah.
But I have heard this.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And yeah, because I couldn't remember who. I guess it was just the other two guys with this woman. I can't remember why Ross was out with them, to be honest.
I think Ross was out with them because he was upset about like Marcel not being able. So Joey was like, "Oh, just come out with us."
Yeah.
And so Ross ends up kind of being the fifth wheel in this situation.
That's right. Because then they end up being.
But it gets him to the restaurant, which is important.
Yeah, exactly. Because then, so Susie convinces Chandler to go to the bathroom, and she tells him to take off all of his clothes, essentially. And okay, I have to say, this scene with Julia Roberts in the bathroom, barefoot, just really irked me. I was like, oh my God, I can't even imagine she's in this public men's bathroom without any shoes, no socks, nothing. I'm like, oh God, it just gave me the ick so bad. I don't know. I could not. That part always gets me. I don't know why. It bothers me.
I would venture to guess that she would not do that ever.
Oh.
But it's not an actual bathroom. It's
exactly.
A set.
Oh.
So, she does.
So
it is what it is.
So she's
it's not a great vibe though.
No. But she convinces him to get naked and strip down to the underwear. She then hustles as he's, I think, turned around, hustles out of the stall. So they're in a stall together and you just see their feet. And she gets out of the stall, grabs all of his clothes, and then is just like, hey, I'm now getting back at you, essentially, for, what you did to me when we were kids. And she's like, I was Susie Underpants until I was 18. I guess that nickname really stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, underpants, mister.
Yeah.
And that's the moment when as soon as you see her start gathering up the clothes, you go, oh man,
Yeah.
this has been in the works the whole way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's something. She got him.
And he's like, that was 20 years ago. And she's like, well, call me in 20 years and let me know if you're still upset about this. And
That's right.
she just takes off. And then the funniest part, I think, is that what happens after this. So he's in the stall and Joey just goes in to use the restroom. They all thought that Chandler and Susie left at this point because they've been in there for a while, or at least Chandler has been. And I think Joey just starts whistling some song and Chandler ends up whistling the back half. And he's like, wait, Joey, is that you? And yeah, after that, Joey decides to get up on the toilet in the next stall and look over the stall at Chandler, and he's commenting on his underwear, but then Ross walks in and he just looks in the mirror and sees Joey standing on the toilet looking over the stall, doesn't know Chandler's in the other one at this point, and he just looks at him and he's like, Joey, some people don't like that.
It's the best line in the episode right there.
It is.
It really is. That's so funny.
Yes.
And it's just the way that Ross says it.
It
you
is.
know? And when Joey's like, no, Chandler's in here, he doesn't have any clothes on. Ross races up onto the other one, and they're both staring at him down in the stall, which is super funny, because then the other guy walks in. Some random passerby walks in, and all three guys are like, hey, and then boom, head shift. Like, yeah, what are we gonna do here?
Yes. Yeah. That was so good.
I do like the fact that they orchestrate Chandler walking out of the restaurant with the door.
Oh my God.
To
Yes,
the stall, even though half the people in the restaurant can still see what's going on the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Ross and Joey, you're both wearing sport coats.
Right.
No one wants to help out Chandler. No one wants to give him a coat. Come on,
so
guys.
much for bros being bros, as you've pointed out in the
That's
other.
what I'm saying. This is the first. This is the first time they really let him hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a much funnier watching him walk out with a door, but still, guys, come on, help him out a little bit.
Well, the other theme during this episode, as Eric had pointed out in the synopsis, was Rachel and Monica with Jean-Claude. And
this story, I just want to say, this episode, I really like the Julia Roberts scenes. I could care less about the Jean-Claude Van Damme scenes. And maybe it's just the ones that he's in.
Yeah.
But they just feel like when he's in it, which I imagine they shot his episodes in about 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was only in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
He was in the same spot on the set. So I don't think he was there for very long. But that section of story is just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Now, the Rachel and Monica fighting over Jean-Claude Van Damme and Phoebe's role in that is great. And there are some fantastic moments from this whole episode. But the Van Damme stuff, you can forget it.
Yeah, well, so in the beginning, basically, Monica is too shy to approach Jean-Claude. And so she sends Rachel up to talk to him for her. All very high school, I would say. Well, this whole segment really is about them just being high school. Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's a celebrity. I understand. And Jean-Claude Van Damme at this time was a big time celebrity too. He's a big movie star at the point. But like, if Rachel can walk up to him, Monica can walk up to him.
So
what is happening?
I feel like what was happening here, because when you think about this show as a whole, there weren't really many instances where both Rachel and Monica were single at the same time too, right? And kind of also going after the same guy. Like, that really didn't happen.
Going after the same guy, this might be the only moment where that happened.
And basically Rachel ends up flirting with him. Well, he starts flirting with her. He says that he thinks she's cute. I think she says something like, my friend who cooks thinks
she
you're
says,
cute. And he's
yeah.
like, you can
and
tell her.
And then he says, go tell your friend that I think her friend is cute.
Yeah. And they kind of go back and forth
that's
for a little while. And then Rachel ends up going back to Monica and essentially asking Monica if it's okay that she goes out with Jean-Claude. And she's like, kind of acting casually about it. No big deal. But my favorite part is when Monica is like, yeah, I guess that's fine. Rachel just turns around and is like, Jean-Claude, she said yes, I'll see you tonight. And like, just runs away. So, yeah, she's all excited for the date. And, but then when they get back to the house, Monica expresses that she really has a problem with this because she feels like she betrayed her and she ends up flicking her. And I love this scene.
The flicking scene is like classic Friends.
In the forehead.
Bang, right in the forehead. Right. And then, you flicked me. And then, boom, flick back the other way. And then it just turns into a slap fight. And Phoebe's trying to keep everybody, reasonable. Well, she's trying to keep
but then she does.
Until she loses it. And she jumps into the fray, grabbing each of them by the ear.
Yeah.
And we get the outcome. Yeah. We get the outcome of like finding out, okay, well, what is going to resolve this problem? And Monica's like, or Rachel's like, do you want me to tell him that he's not going out with me? He's going out with you instead? And she's like, yes. Which I think is so weird.
I know. Yes, I do want that. Outcome. Right. So, but I do love Phoebe's line right before she grabs their ears and she's like, okay, now I have to kick some ass, and like jumps in between them, grabs their ears, and they're just both saying, ouch, 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 and like getting like, and she's pinching them, and Phoebe has this line, if we were in prison, you guys would be like my bitches. And I just love
Like, I mean, and that is quintessential Phoebe line. Yeah, for sure.
But then
we get Monica on the date. And Monica, again, this is now a scene that Jean-Claude Van Damme is very short, where Monica's on the date and Rachel has basically set her up.
Yeah.
Said that she said that she would be open to dating Jean-Claude Van Damme and Drew Barrymore at the same time. And that was not happening.
Yeah. So then when she finds out about this situation, she goes back to the house and decides to dump marinara sauce in Rachel's bag. Yes, I was going to say, who did the marinara? Yes. Monica dumped the marinara sauce.
Rachel did, Rachel did the marinara into Monica's bag.
Yes.
And Monica was pulling the yarn off of Rachel's sweater.
Yes, and then that's when Phoebe has another great line of just, stop the madness! Look at your purse!
Yeah, stop.
Look at your sweater! Look at yourselves!
And it's a nice moment when Monica's like, I'll help you fix your sweater.
Yeah.
And then Rachel's like, well, I'll help you throw out your purse.
Yeah. And I think she had like her sunglasses in her purse or something.
She had in the purse was Rachel's
the gloves. Yeah, I'm like, something else of hers was in there.
So they were soaked in marinara. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so now we're going into season 2, episode 14. This is the one with the prom video. And I have a pretty short synopsis here. We have Joey buying Chandler a bracelet, and they end up becoming bracelet buddies, while Monica is trying to get a loan from her parents. Ross is trying to convince Rachel that she is her lobster, as he was told by Phoebe, but she doesn't want to buy it until she watches the prom night home video. And we finally enter into the true age of Ross and Rachel.
Good point. So starting things off with the engraved bracelet of it all. Where, yeah, so basically, you know, Joey, he's making it big and he wants to show Chandler some thanks. And his idea of doing that is giving him this engraved friendship bracelet that says, "To my best bud."
I mean, just in what world is this a good idea? I mean, listen, never been a bracelet wearer. Maybe there are plenty of people out there that are rocking bracelets, not like the super gold flashy one that Chandler was gifted by Joey, but it just seems so out of place. And like, why would he think Chandler would want that? What about Chandler says, "Give me this ridiculously gold flashy bracelet"?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where you already feel bad enough for Chandler. He was already at the lesbian wedding a couple episodes ago going, "The whole world is my lesbian wedding," because he can't get girls. And then finally, he's in the coffee shop, and this woman, who we find to be known as Gail, is looking at him. And so he's like, "Oh," and he goes around, makes a pretty good intro, right? Gets a seat, puts his hand up, the bracelet slides off, and she is out of there.
Which I gotta say, that is just insane, right? It's like she's looking at him from afar. She obviously thinks he's really cute. He walks up and he says, "I know what you're thinking, Dave Thomas of Wendy's." That's his line, which is just like, you know, silly and awesome for Chandler. Hey, and but
I brought it up a couple episodes ago. Does Chandler have game? He might. He might be better than we think he is.
Well,
he's pretty slick with the first line.
The bracelet blinded her, apparently, and she was like, "Oh, gotta go," and just got up and left. And he's like, that's when he walks over and to, is it Rachel or Phoebe? Now I'm trying to, who was at the, Phoebe. Okay, yeah. Phoebe was sitting at the counter.
Phoebe's the one who goes up to him. She's like, "Oh, hold on, let me get this right. 11 o'clock, girl, checking you out." You know?
That's right. That's right.
So
She's trying to help him out. Yes, and so, but then he goes back over to her after he strikes out, and he's like, "The eyesore from the Liberace house of crap, Mr. T," and he's doing this like Mr. T impersonation as like Joey then walks in from outside, and like, "I pity the fool, and
he has to give me the woman repeller. Like,
that's right.
It is like 5 consecutive lines by Chandler just crushing the bracelet.
Yeah, and Joey walks in right at that moment, and he's like, "Wow, okay, I guess you didn't like my bracelet." I mean, it's all very dramatic between the two guys at this point. This is just like super silly. But after, you know, all of this is, you know, said and done, Chandler ends up actually losing the bracelet. And he
doesn't know though. He doesn't know he's lost it until he's trying to apologize to Joey and say, "I'll never take it off again," realizing it's not there.
Yes.
And so he's frantically searching through the couches and everything, and Joey opens the door, and then you get that great line where he's like, "I am here on my knees, holding up these couch cushions as a symbol of my sorrow and regret, much like they did in biblical times. Though you might haveth anger now." And then the door shuts.
Yes. And then when he couldn't find it, then he ends up just buying another one because he feels so bad. And at that point, then Joey walks in because he realizes Gunther had the other one. It was wasn't it at Central Park the whole time?
It was at Central
Park.
Goodness. I don't think Gunther, you know what it was? Because I don't think we've actually seen Gunther yet, or maybe he's been floating around, but he hasn't had a line yet.
He's had minimal lines, but yes. Yeah. He said I think he answered stairs. And then he also had the Slinky exchange as well. Or that he didn't have stairs with the Slinky exchange.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Okay. Because Rachel has the bracelet, but she says, "Hey, Gunther found your bracelet," you know, one of those things.
Thank you. Yes.
And so like he's been floating in the background, but he, you know, not as much as he is in later episodes.
Yeah. And so then when Joey sees both bracelets, then Chandler just says, "Yep, I got one for you too." So now they have matching best bud bracelets, which never come up in the series ever again. So
No.
I don't know.
But you do get Joey being super excited, like, check it out, we're bracelet buddies.
Oh my god.
That's what they'll call us.
That's what Chandler says. Yes. Oh god, that's what they'll call us. But also during this episode, we have Monica, trying to get the loan from her parents. And I just love whenever Jack and Judy are back on the scene. Always some great lines there.
Jack was particularly great in this episode. When Rachel comes in and she's
so
trying
awkward.
to explain that the parents are separated, and Jack's line is, "I can't say that any of us were surprised."
I know.
It's like, what?
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, well, not after that incident in Florida.
And
it's
she
like,
had no idea.
What are you talking about?
Right.
No, maybe it was about me. I don't know. Like, he was so good. Like,
yes.
Those were great lines that
Yes.
you just kind of get this,
Mhm.
like, aloof guy who's speaking his mind and not really thinking about what he's doing. And again, the Geller parents are in here just throwing punches at people.
Yes.
It's great. It's good every time.
Yes, and Monica has to confess to them that she was fired from her job. And I love when Jack calls her their little harmonica. He says, "This is our little harmonica we're talking about," meaning, like, I feel like Jack really does try to be much more encouraging, where her mom is really tearing her down. Although sometimes in a little bit of a backhanded way, like, is really tries to be supportive in his own Jack type of way.
Like, if that was the nickname, like, I always viewed that as not a put down. Now, maybe...
Oh, no, not the nickname. I just mean how he's saying, like, she'll figure it out and, tries to be encouraging, but it's all a little
10% of your paycheck. Where does it go?
Exactly.
In the bank.
Exactly.
Ross answers immediately.
Oh my god.
Monica's
Ross.
like, "Oh yeah, right. In the bank."
Their perfect angel, Ross. Yes. But meanwhile, what have they done? They have turned her room into a gym, is what they've confessed to Monica, is that.
And why not Ross's room?
Because they didn't want to disturb all of his awards.
Well, I would just like to say that our parents, I'm sure they're going to listen to this, they changed both of our rooms.
Oh, yeah.
My room became a spare bedroom to somebody else, and whoever else was there. Your room became an office completely.
My room took the bigger transformation, just saying.
Well, I mean, my room was at least still had a bed in it, but listen, I'll let them defend themselves on that.
We'll just leave that there. Anyway, so also, and to begin all of this, I also want to point out that super awkward scene where Monica is on this, like, job interview and the guy wants her to make a salad. Like, I don't know what was going... That is the most random scene ever. And he's, like, asking her to make a salad and to leave all the vegetables dirty. He's like... it is just not... It's so weird.
I mean, it showcases that Monica's having a tough time finding a job.
That's really all it was.
So it's not... So that's all that it was good for. But it did it in such a bizarre way.
Yes.
I mean,
wow.
I understand that those interviews, I'm sure, are out there. But
I guess
boy,
the restaurant industry is rough.
Yeah.
So,
but in this episode, we also get Phoebe with the claws.
Oh my goodness, the lobster. Yes. So that's when we find out Phoebe shares with Ross that, even though he's having all of these tough exchanges with Rachel, right? Like there is definitely some cringy scenes here where Ross is approaching Rachel at Central Perk when she's just kind of, having a nice conversation with this new guy. And he's like, "Oh, she needs my help type thing. Like, he thinks that
Yeah.
she is somehow signaling to him.
Wasn't a
Wasn't.
good read, Ross.
Oh, no. He was reading what he wanted to into that situation, and it was real awkward. And so he interjects himself to rescue her, so to speak, from this
Yeah.
guy. And it was just so bad. And he just walks up to her and he's like, "You're welcome."
Yeah.
Because
But I'll tell you what,
yeah.
the line in this whole sequence that comes up here in a moment is the one that really showcases where Ross is, like, emotionally. And that is when Rachel tells him, essentially, listen, you have to accept that. And he's like,
Yes.
accept that what?
And
she's like, no,
accept
that. And it's like, oh,
accept that
felt
it's
that.
over.
Feel that.
Yes.
Feel that in my soul.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yes.
That's rough on Ross right there. But you know that he's still of the belief this is happening.
And Phoebe is watching all this from a distance, and she just says, "Hang in there. She's your lobster," and apparently shares with him that she knows lobsters mate for life. And she makes this little claw symbol with her fingers intertwined, and she says that they hold on to each other's claws, and that Rachel is his lobster. And so, so then that's where really, then Ross decides to tell Rachel, in fact, that she is his lobster.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is why I'm trying to save you, because you're my lobster. And Phoebe, do you want to help me out here? And she's like, just do the claws again. She's making the symbol. And it's just like, oh my goodness. And then it was after that point that Rachel, hits him with the hammer and is like, we are never gonna happen, right? So then we're
not happening.
But then we're back at the apartment again, and Ross is all bummed out and mopey, but they end up putting on the prom video, which I love this part so much, because we are watching this home video of Monica and Rachel getting ready for their prom and waiting at Monica and Ross's house for their dates to pick them up.
And I feel like I'm gonna say, like, this is one of the best scenes.
Oh my goodness.
A lot. I feel like I use that phrasing. This is, in fact, one of the top 10 scenes in Friends.
It's so good.
And there is not an opportunity that it doesn't get real dusty in my house whenever we're watching this scene, because it's the first real, like, emotional win for Ross, I feel like.
Yeah, so you get Rachel before her nose job. And
oh yeah,
Monica, this is where we first see her when she was overweight. Right? This is
how many cameras are on.
Oh my god. Yeah, she's like, well, they say the camera adds 10 pounds. And Chandler says, well, how many
But here's the funny thing about that, though. Like, I think they make her look worse and worse all the other times they go back into the past.
Do.
Like, this was like Big Monica, and they make Big Monica look way bigger in the future.
They accentuate it. It's and I feel like nowadays they would not really be getting away with this. It would not be okay necessarily to be almost characterizing her in this way and teasing her so much. I feel like
this season specifically has had a lot of references to Monica's weight.
Yes.
As before. And in the next episode, we have more of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a constant, like, reminder of how big she was and where she is now. And you're right. That's probably not a story that gets told these days.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's almost like, oh, you've succeeded. Now you're super thin. You know what I mean? And that type of thing. And I feel like we've tried to get away from that so much. But anyway, all that being said. We have Ross with his longer curly hair and his giant mustache too, which is just hilarious.
Looking good, Mr. Cartel.
Yes, that's Joey. Yes, and I also noticed. Did you pick up on who Monica's date was?
Sure did. Now, I don't know the guy's name.
No, me either.
But
What's he from?
But I know where I know him from.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it written down. Like the guy that played the date, and I forget the character's name.
Donkey
even.
Lips.
No. That.
Oh!
Yeah. I forget the character's name from Friends.
Oh!
But Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts. That's
Worst
the guy.
name ever. And actually, that literally just popped into my head in this moment. I didn't even, I'm like, well, it just, yep, he just.
Oh, no, I had it written right down. And the funny thing is, I'm typing it out like Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts.
Worst nickname
going,
ever.
Who wrote this show and said this was the guy's name?
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
What a horrible name.
He looks like a donkey.
Hey, listen, that's what I know.
Sorry,
him
whoever
from.
that dude is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not great. But that is, anytime I see that guy, I'm gonna find that guy's name so we give him some credit.
So,
but that actor is Donkey Lips. That's who he is.
Yes.
That is all that it ever is. And I'll find.
Yeah.
It.
So
you
while Donkey Lips is there with Monica, he is clearly there on
Kill Chip
on time. They are waiting on Chip, who is Rachel's date, but he is not there.
The date is Roy Gublick.
Oh.
And his actual name is Michael Bauer.
Michael Bauer. Okay. But Roy was the name of his character on Friends.
Roy Gublick was the name on Friends.
On Friends.
Yes.
Okay.
Michael Bauer is his actual name. And yet,
okay, all right.
When you click on him, it's got number one thing that you're known for, a Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was also in Dude, Where's My Car? And I don't remember him in there.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. Yes, he was in one of those white, like, hazmat suits and whatever weird cult. Yeah,
in the
Zoldyck movies. Oh my god, that movie is hilariously, absolutely insanely ridiculous.
That movie is great.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know about Saving Silverman. Or
I was just gonna say that.
If you don't, Dude, Where's My Car is better than that.
No,
it just is.
No, you are wrong, sir. That is
I'm probably wrong, but I don't care. I'm standing on it. I've said it. I've said it with chest, and I'm gonna stand here and be proud of it.
Wow. So we're back to the prom video though. And they're waiting on Chip to arrive. It's Jack and Judy that suggest to Ross, hey, you know what? He's not coming. Like, why don't you step up and take Rachel to the prom? And he's like, I don't know about that. And they convince him, like, listen, put on the tux. I guess they just had, what was it? His dad's tux laying around. They had a tux laying around. And so he gets ready really quick, pulls some flowers out of a vase at the top of the stairs. He just like gets it together and he is going to take Rachel to the prom. And as he's coming down the stairs and they are following him with the camcorder, you just see the girls running out the door with their dates. I guess Chip has arrived as Ross was getting ready. And it is just definitely heartbreaking where Ross just looks like droopy dog watching them leave. And Jack, you just hear Jack quickly saying, turn off the
turn off the camera.
The camcorder. Yeah.
Push the button.
They're trying to turn it off because Ross is just super sad. And then Rachel is just beside herself.
Yeah, flash to real time here with all the gang sitting around the couch, and Monica sits up and goes, I can't believe you did that. Because they had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's when Rachel gets up,
yeah,
walks across the room and kisses Ross, and the whole gang kind of quietly is like fist bump celebrating. And I feel like it's a real moment where they're genuinely reacting to this being a good thing for the show. Like I feel like they're all smiling genuinely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that that's probably not the case, but I don't care. I feel like it is. And there's not a time where I'm not watching this episode thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Work it out.
Well, because it's like, she realizes, you know what? Ross really, really, truly cares about me and
Yeah.
would do anything just to see me happy, and is just letting go of the whole list situation, and really, I think, sees him for who he is in that moment. So having that recorded moment from high school just reminded her.
And then you get Phoebe with the icing on the cake.
Yes.
See? He's her lobster.
And making the finger gestures.
Okay, so this is season 2, episode 15, the one where Ross and Rachel, and this is where Joey's option gets picked up on Days of Our Lives, and he buys the Barca Loungers and a big screen TV, of which Chandler and Joey do not move from the entire episode. Monica gets a catering job for a party for Dr. Richard Burke, who we now get to meet. And Ross and Rachel are having their first date and navigating, crossing the line from friendship into dating relationship.
Yeah.
What do you want to kick this off with?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is pretty great how Joey juices up their living room with these Barker loungers that become pretty much like a symbol of their friendship, I would say, for several seasons at this point. But they're just obsessed with this new setup, to the point where they're having food delivered to Monica's apartment so that she can then bring it to them, because they don't want to be getting up, which is just wow, guys, wow.
And I'm going to say this. Like, Monica comes in at one point with like a whole thing of Chinese food, slams it down in Chandler's lap, and is like, stop ordering food and having it sent to our apartment. Know how you do that? Don't bring him the food.
Right? Yes.
Don't bring him the food.
But they know
if you
that
don't
Monica
bring him the
will.
food, he's got to get up and get there.
But Monica's
But
always a hostess.
I know. But you know what? Like, if you want to actually get him to stop doing it, don't bring it to him.
I had the same exact thought. It's like, come on, please. Yeah.
Like,
I would just leave it outside. Yeah. Just like not even answer the door.
But between that and then even like halfway through the episode, when Ross and Rachel are in there behind him, Rachel says something like, "Oh, I'm taking off my top." And Joey has like some dental mirror.
Yes.
He's looking, he's like, she's lying.
Yeah, where did that come from? What?
I don't know where you got that from, but
she's lying.
but like, that's it. Like this part of the story, that's the story. Like, there wasn't a whole lot to go with this.
No.
It was very cool to kind of flash in and out of them seeing it. It was very cool to like see some random old TV shows like on the big screen, which the big screen is infinitely dwarfed by most televisions today.
Yes.
But yeah, it was still good to see, and it's like you said, this is kind of going to be a symbol of the boys moving forward for a while. So it's very cool to have it introduced.
And then we have Ross and Rachel going on their first date night. But this means that Rachel has to bail on her waitressing gig for Monica. So she had planned on helping out Monica for Dr. Burke's party, and just is begging her to have Phoebe do it instead. And that's when Phoebe has the line, I don't even know if I can really get, she comes out with this line super fast and is just like trying to convince Monica that she could have the job. And she's like, I could be a waitress. And Monica says, well, this would mean you'd have to be, normal for some period of time. And Phoebe says, Give me 291s, 86 the bacon with one Adam and Eve on a raft and wreck 'em. La 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 la.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Because she came out acting like she was in some old time diner, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the line too that Monica said? It was, hey, this can't be like I can be a butterfly or something like that. Like, I could be a waitress. You have to actually be a waitress.
That's right.
I forget what the thing that she was comparing her to.
Yes.
Was.
That's right.
But go.
No, because I think it was actually when she was being the secretary for Chandler that he had said to her, this actually means that you have to be normal for a large portion of time, like consecutively. And that was, so
Yeah.
it
She had to
seems,
be normal to be an assistant.
yes. So I think that this theme often when Phoebe's willing to help out the gang with different work scenarios, it's always a little bit sketchy.
have to be like, regular
Yeah.
for a long
Aw,
period
poor
of the day.
Phoebe. So, but yeah, Rachel,
but
oh, what are you gonna say?
yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just so they went out on a date, Rachel and Ross, and when they are then back at the apartment and they're kissing, Rachel just keeps busting out laughing because it is just so new and weird, and she's used to Ross just being her friend Ross, and now, they're trying to take their relationship to the next level, and it just feels weird to her at first. She's not used to it. And so she's laughing, makes Ross feel weird. And then they just kind of part ways. He's like, listen, he ends up going to the guys too and asking for their advice on how to proceed because she's clearly just not feeling the relationship in that moment. She just needs more time.
I will say this about this whole Ross and Rachel segment of an episode, because it's like you just described, they have this first portion of their story, which is very awkward and weird. And then by the end of the episode, again, they try to set up a date. They can't really go on the date because Ross gets called in on some museum emergency, and he's in there trying to move pots to the appropriate exhibit and move things around. By the time they do, their reservation is canceled, and they end up going into the what is it, a planetarium, I suppose.
Yeah, yes.
And having the stars above, which by the way looked terrible. I don't know what star structure that was. But then they end up like having a more like momentous relationship moving forward here. We have that connection where, as Rachel says, it's not so funny this time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I go back and forth on this because I think it was critical to Friends to put this in. I think if you just automatically transition them, one episode they're friends, the next they're dating.
Yes.
No
there
problem.
There has to be kind of an awkward transition
weird.
a little bit. Yeah.
But it also was an awkward transition that lasted half an episode.
Yeah.
So, like, I really don't care about this. Like, just move me on to the next thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm also glad that she got over it fast, because that would have been kind of a weird, annoying plot line to play out. Yeah.
It's one or the other, right?
Yeah.
It's either, and it's funny because you either say it's an awkward thing and then make it awkward for a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's true.
But like you said, that's weird, and nobody really wants to see that.
Yeah.
So do you just skip it? I mean, maybe this is the best way that it could have been.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's got moments with Ross and Rachel, but it's definitely not my favorite one.
Yeah, and she
not my favorite section.
Right, like she gets over it pretty quick. They're, and then they end up, they're together at the planetarium, and then they wake up like in a display case for a group of children who are at school, which is also very awkward. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, that's
not okay.
The worst.
That is not okay.
I mean, it's never happened to me personally, but I can only imagine that is a terrible situation.
Well, my favorite part of this episode definitely is the Dr. Burke piece. So,
it's James Bond.
Yes, it
is. As Phoebe says when he opens the door.
Yes.
This is the best part of the episode.
Yeah, Tom Selleck, plays Dr. Burke, and he was still is one of Monica and Ross's dad's friends. So they grew up knowing Dr. Burke, and it has been a really long time since they've seen him. And he doesn't even recognize Monica when she walks into the party. He kind of awkwardly stumbles over his words a bit because he's trying to kind of say, like, without saying, like, hey, you're thin now. Like, he's kind of like, oh, you look great. You look great.
He danced around
Yeah.
it a couple times, and everybody knew what he was trying to say because we had just seen the prom videos and everything. And it comes out as, you look great.
You look great.
You know,
yes.
and it was very good.
Yeah.
Like, and this whole immediate connection
Yeah.
with them, where she's the caterer at his party and he's hanging out in the kitchen
Yes.
with her because he doesn't want to be with all of his own party guests.
Yes. Yeah, because he's like, oh, these guys are just not fun. They're just making like corny eye doctor jokes.
Who needs glasses?
Oh gosh. Yeah, he walks out with champagne glasses saying that, and he's like, oh gosh, these people are just the worst. But he has to go and entertain them. And as he goes out to entertain the group, Phoebe, who's also there, being a waitress with
being a normal waitress.
Yes, being a normal waitress with Monica.
Sort of.
Yeah, and she just says, "You are so much the smitten kitten." And just that they're both into each other, their chemistry is obvious, and Monica's kind of denying it, but also giggling at the same time. Like, she clearly has a crush on him, and it was clear to Phoebe too that he, is attracted to her as well. And she admits, well, I am going in for an eye appointment tomorrow, and 27 is a dangerous eye age, she says to Phoebe.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, as one does know.
Yes. So
but then in that eye appointment, ultimately, they Dr. Burke checks her eyes, nothing, glad we were able to avoid the danger of being 27 years old with eye problems.
But she's like staring at him longingly as he's staring into her eyes.
And he hands her about 9,000 eye drops.
That part is
because hey, they're free here. Just have some eye drops. Because he's literally now trying to just extend the conversation as long as he possibly can. And the two of them end up kissing, and things start going very well at that point. They end up setting up a future date. And this is where you get the moment, which is my favorite of this whole thing.
Yes.
Where they are back in Chandler and Joey's apartment. And Monica is saying that she's got a date. And Ross is obviously about to go out with Rachel. And Ross is like, oh, who are you going with? Who are you going out with? Oh, I don't want to tell you. Who? And she says, Richard Burke. And he's like, Dr. Burke? You're going out with Dr. Burke?
Why?
Like,
why
yes.
would you do
Like,
that?
why? Why should that bother me? He's like a brother to Dad.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
Like, that encapsulates all of it. Like, protective brother.
Yes.
All the girls are like, oh my gosh, he is dreamy though. And so they're all rooting for her. She wants to have a good relationship.
Yeah, because
Ross is recognizing that this is going to be weird. And then I don't think we actually see any of the date, but we see them post-date at the apartment looking at pictures.
Yes. And that's where she recognizes, oh, you're a grandpa. He's like, yep, I'm a grandpa. And she looks at him and she's like, I'm dating a man whose pool I once peed in. And it's like, he says, like, I really didn't need to know that.
Now, I want to run some numbers here because we got some numbers. Obviously, 27 is a very dangerous eye age. And
yes.
Then Monica says, I believe I'm a whole person that can drink younger than you. Right?
He says, I'm a whole person who can drink older than you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had it backwards.
Yes.
So that means that Richard is 48.
Yes.
Because he's 21 years older than 27,
and
making
that
him 48.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he's a young grandpa.
I just want to point out, going back to poor young Ethan, who is only
Oh,
8 years younger.
right?
But
those 8 years. Oh
but
my.
those 8 years made it questionable by
young
law.
Ethan was not. Yeah, that was.
But here she is now dating somebody 21 years. But as you said, listen, if the youngest person is 25, nobody cares anymore. And the youngest person is Monica. She is 27. Nobody flinches at 48. Really.
Well, although there is a lot of flinching coming up in the next episode for sure.
The next episode is great with that.
Ross did listen. He covered himself well, but he was definitely weirded out by the whole situation. But he was weirded out at first, but I think he gets on board. He gets on board for sure.
Season 2, episode 16. The one where Joey moves out.
Oh, yeah.
And now, I will say before I do the synopsis, Joey moving out shouldn't be the title of this episode.
Right?
Like, that's not the main piece of this episode.
I agree.
Anyway, synopsis. Rachel and Phoebe are getting tattoos, while Monica, Ross, and Richard Burke are all attending a party at the Gellers. Meanwhile, Joey has now decided he's making more money, and he's going to be moving out on his own after some arguments with Chandler. Let's start with the Joey part.
Yeah.
It's the title of the episode. Again, I mean, we haven't talked about this part. We're going to get Joey in his own apartment here for a few episodes.
Yeah.
I just hate this.
Yeah.
I really dislike when the friends are not in the home base.
So
and Joey get in his own apartment. I'm just not here for that.
I have to say, though, the comedy that ensues because of Joey moving out is pure gold.
I don't disagree with some of that. There are some really good moments because of it, but still.
Yeah. It's not in this segment that we will be covering that, but it's coming, and they are some of some really awesome comedic moments.
We get a real good guest star coming up.
Yes, we do. And so, but I love how this episode opens up with bickering back and forth between Joey and Chandler's just like, you used my toothbrush?
We'll start with the spoon, then it goes to the toothbrush.
That's right. Use my toothbrush.
Because he licks the spoon.
That's right.
It's back in the drawer.
Puts it back. Thank you. Puts it back in the drawer. And he's like, well, he ends up coming out with the fact that he also uses the toothbrush in the bathroom because he used the red one to unclog the drain. And Chandler's like, well, mine's the red one. And he's like, oh, God, can open, worms everywhere. And he's like, well, we use the same soap. And Chandler's like, well, soap is soap. It's self-cleaning. And Joey just looks at him and he goes, next time you shower, think about the last thing that I wash and the first thing that you wash. And I have to say, Eric, I this line has stayed with me over the years.
I have also felt that. Like, I understand that line. And I mean, I'll be honest, it's like, well, you can just change the order of the things you do if you know that that's the situation. That being said, it has made me look at soap differently ever since. That's just what it is.
So it wasn't, I mean, listen, they're kind of bantering at this point, going back and forth, but really Joey decides that he really needs to grow up and that he wants to take his new earnings and go out on his own, which, to your point, Eric, this is very un-Joey like. It doesn't really fit his character at all. And
no.
Yeah, so he just feels like he needs to grow up, and I love the line where, as he's deciding to move out, he does have a moment where he turns around to Chandler and he says, well, I don't want to leave you high and dry. And Chandler goes, well, I've never been lower or wetter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then they do the foosball game for the table.
Yes.
And Chandler says something like, these guys are going to get scored on more than your sister. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Which sister?
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
And we haven't really been introduced to all the sisters yet, but
no,
that's coming too.
No, that has not happened yet. That's coming up.
But this this is one of those things where I just feel like it's so crazy timing.
Mhm.
Like literally two episodes ago? No. One episode. Already lost track. One episode prior, Joey has brought Barca loungers and a big screen TV.
Thank you.
Into
Yes.
the apartment.
Yeah.
And then he's like, now I'm out.
Yes.
Like,
it
this
doesn't.
is a thank you
No.
to you.
He gives
and
the
now
bracelet.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
He gets the Barker loungers, and then he's like,
It's just-
"Peace, I'm out." Yeah,
it's so
It's too fast.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I think there could have been a time where you could have moved him out. Phoebe lives on her own. Ross lives on his own.
Yeah.
They've never not done that. You could have had Chandler living on his own in that apartment and had it been okay. But it's such a weird moment to do it.
I think it's because, well, listen, we do learn pretty soon that Joey's success with Days of Our Lives is pretty short lived. And it just speaks to Joey's character.
Well, the first time.
Yeah, right.
He gets back around.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this first time, listen, I think it really just speaks to they didn't want to have Joey's character, I think, evolve too quickly too, because he really just has a lot of growing up to do. He doesn't really have realistic expectations of the industry. He really, his perspective is a bit whacked. And I think all of this
doesn't even know how to pay bills.
That's what I'm saying.
Chandler's paying all the bills.
So this is the guy that moves into his own apartment. Well, we'll get more into this in the future, but he buys all this crazy stuff. He just doesn't know how to manage anything. And I think, you know, he just wants to jump on that opportunity and just goes in full throttle. And it's like,
I can
right.
appreciate him saying, you know, maybe it'll help me grow or something.
Yeah.
You know, like I do applaud the ambition of Joey to try and get out on his own.
Yeah.
I don't think the timing makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, it goes terribly wrong. Listen, this is a sitcom, people. It's we gotta suspend our disbelief here. So
I guess so.
but we also have in this episode the tattoo piece where Phoebe and Rachel decide they want to go get tattoos together, but they're hiding it from Ross because Ross really doesn't like the idea of the tattoo. And he's like, well, you know,
this is a very 90s storyline.
It is very tattoos are almost taboo, right? Like,
well, it's coming around, right? But listen, I grew up in the 90s, so did you.
mm-hmm.
There was a long stretch of time where the idea was, if you get a tattoo, you might not be able to get a job.
Right. Yeah, like it's very different. Yes, things took a dramatic turn
out loud in my as a student.
Yes.
A million times.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's hard, you'd be hard pressed to find people without tattoos,
yes.
I feel.
Yes, right.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That being said, like, I understand the idea of Ross. I feel like Ross speaks to the time.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, why would I want to scar my body with something permanent?
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, he's definitely, I would say, a bit more conservative in that way too.
Certainly.
And you know, and he's like, well, what? And I have these thoughts too, where it's like, well, what if it doesn't come out right? It would be like having a bad haircut all the time. Hey, why is everybody looking at me? Because they all are looking at Ross like, dude,
well,
you like your hair.
You know.
He did not have good hair at this point. But Phoebe, you know, she and Rachel end up going to the tattoo parlor anyway. And Phoebe says to Rachel, "Is your boyfriend the boss of you?" "No." "And who is the boss of you?" "You." "No, you're the boss of you." And Rachel is just, you know, she really she has a hard time.
How it goes? Is boss equal Ross?
Yeah. She has a hard time, I think, standing up for herself. That theme kind of comes up from time to time over the series. And
which again, then how is she the one walking up to Jean-Claude Van Damme with no problems whatsoever?
It's different.
She can't stand up for herself?
Yeah, it's maybe
Like she can approach guys, no problem. Like confidence
Different skill
in the
set.
dating realm, no problem.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
But then making a decision, she's indecisive, I would say, is kind of what they end up calling her a pushover later in the
Well,
series. Yes.
true.
So that does, and so that is, I feel like, different than having the confidence to ask someone out. Although, you know what? That's a great point, because to jump even further ahead, remember, she really doesn't want to pick up a phone and ask anyone out. You find out that she's never asked a guy out in her entire life. So
No,
while
because they just ask him out.
Exactly. So while the
time.
Jean-Claude situation, that just kind of happened, to
That's
her,
what
which
I'm
I
saying,
think has
that
always
whole-
been.
All the scenes with Jean-Claude Van Damme were just weird.
Yeah. Yes.
They didn't feel like friends. I don't
Yes.
know why. It just didn't.
Yeah.
It's not his fault, I don't think. It just felt weird.
But either way, so then Phoebe, after all of this, she ends up chickening out and not getting the tattoo after Rachel gets this teeny tiny heart on her hip. And she looks to Phoebe and is wondering, like, what the heck? Did you think that, like, they, kittens licked on the tattoo? And because she was apparently surprised that they had a giant
Did you know
needle.
that they do this with needles?
Yes, thank you. It's like, oh gosh. Yeah. So she ends up Rachel convinces her to get a tattoo, but it is this teeny tiny dot, and that's all she could handle. And she tells them, I got a tattoo of the whole world. But it's just this.
It is the earth from a great, great distance, which is how my mother sees me from heaven.
Oh gosh.
And and the whole world. That's where when Ross comes in and then sees Rachel showing off the tattoo, she goes, "Oh, I just got a little heart. Phoebe got the whole world."
That's right. Rachel describes it that way. Yeah, but then Ross ends up, he likes it, and they move on from there. But
they move on from there.
Yes.
Frivolous activities.
That's right. Yes. But then I would say my favorite segment from this episode is Monica and Ross going with Dr. Burke, or Richard rather, to her dad's, Ross and Monica's father's birthday party with him.
Without question, this is the best part of this episode by a long way.
Yes.
And there are just so many little pieces in here. Starting right out of the gate, where they walk in the door and Monica's trying to reorganize them to figure out what the best way to walk in the door looks like. And then Judy Geller says, "Well, did you guys thank Dr. Burke for giving you a ride?" And Ross is like, "I think Monica thanked him for the both of us."
Oh gosh. Yes. Yeah, what does Ross say when they're walking in? He's like, I think if you guys walked in...
If you walked in straddling him, they wouldn't believe you.
They wouldn't believe it, right? Because she's worried, like, oh my gosh, if I walk in first, they're going to know. Or if I walk in next to him, they're going to know. And he's like, no. If you walked in straddling, they're not going to believe that this is what's happening. So, and Monica says, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do for Dad's birthday. I want to give him a stroke. She's trying to just listen, like, we're gonna go, but we're not gonna say anything. They're gonna avoid it. It's kind of her initial thought.
Trying to keep it under wraps as much as possible.
Yes,
for sure. But guess what? Richard's there, and he becomes the talk of the town. Whether it is Judy and her friend in the kitchen talking about how he, to their words, has a 20-year-old Twinkie in the city.
Oh my gosh, I think. Yes.
Or if it's the guys and Jack and Richard and some of the other, people around talking about how he's a hero. He's got some young girl that's still dating him.
And that line, oh my goodness, when Jack looks at Richard and he's like, maybe one of these weekends you can borrow the car and I can. And Ross just interjects, Dad, I beg you not to finish that sentence. What? You know I'd never let him touch the Porsche. Oh my God. Oh gosh, another wonderful Jack Geller moment, and
he was on fire in these 4 episodes.
Yes.
He he might be unsung hero, my favorite character from these 4 episodes. He was delivering nothing but bangers.
Yeah, he's always hilarious. I love when the Gellers are in an episode, and but then Monica learns that Richard has told the guys that he's falling in love with her. When they're
Yes, she learns that.
Yes,
she's
in the
trapped.
bathroom.
She's trapped in the shower. And her parents are in there, and they're discussing the Richard fiasco and talking about what it is and isn't. And this is when Judy asks Jack if he's about to trade her in for a younger model, and he says, "No, with you, it's like I have 2 25-year-olds."
Yes. Very sweet, but not something that Monica wants to be hiding in the shower, because both she and Richard had been in the bathroom, but her mom ended up walking by the bathroom, so she hid in the shower, so she's not coming out of the bathroom at the same time. It was all very,
By the way,
yeah.
Richard's leaving the bathroom.
Right.
Monica is in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to say something loudly to signal to Monica, hey, your mom's coming in here.
Yes.
And so his choice of words are, Judy, going to the bathroom, I see. Good for you.
Out of all the things.
Come on, Richard.
He could have said
good for you.
Anything. Yes, that's so good.
What is that? Good for you?
I know. It's
I just
so
you've done better just throwing her down the stairs.
Yeah. So after, Judy just is like, wow, okay, I don't know. Thank you for that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate that. And she ends up, so as Monica's overhearing her parents, then they end up getting a little frisky. She is trapped in the bathtub, and she comes out of the bathroom just looking like a zombie, and Ross sees her, and he's like, Mon, are you okay? Remember that video I found of Mom and Dad? Well, I just caught the live show. And this goes back to, which we didn't touch on, we
didn't actually touch on that.
The end of the prom video from the last episode. Well, there's a whole movie at the end of it, and Monica was alone in the living room, and it came on, and she just did not want to see that, so she's traumatized, and now again she is being traumatized. Yeah. So not good.
Re-traumatized. A lot of trauma for Monica here
Monica.
between the video, the live show, the interview with the vegetables guy. It's a rough stretch.
Oh my goodness.
But you know what? Richard's around now, so it's okay.
That's right. So then they're in the kitchen, and this scene is amazing. It is just the speed that they deliver these lines and the flow of all the events are great.
I was thinking of that.
Right.
That is the thing.
It's so perfectly choreographed.
This, I don't know how many times it took them to do this, but the sequence of delivering the lines to Jack coming in, to Ross grabbing the bat.
Oh my God.
Then they're coming in singing happy birthday. Ross is trying to stop them, and they're backing up exactly as Monica's delivering the line. That was one of the smoothest scenes we've seen so far.
And I love, so Judy, is facing the other way, and she turns around and sees Monica with her arm around Richard. And she's then, saying, Mom, it's okay. She is the Twinkie, essentially. And, she looks to Ross, who's also in the kitchen. Judy looks to Ross, and she's like, did you know about this? Because, of course, it always goes back to, what could Ross have done?
What did Ross think or know?
And he's like, Mom, there are so many people in my life. Some of them are seeing people and some of them aren't. Is that Crystal? Because she's holding this crystal
takes the glass.
vase, and he takes it from her. And then that's when Judy yells for Jack, tells him to urgently come into the kitchen. And then, the whole scene where Jack is walking into the kitchen with a bat. I forget, why did he have a bat?
He's holding. He was searching for his Harmon Killebrew bat, which is a former baseball player. and which is so it's a bat that's signed by
Oh,
Harmon
okay. He's
Killebrew.
just showing the
I
guys, I
assume
guess.
that reference went way over
Oh,
your
yeah,
head.
no
I assume.
idea. Yeah, no clue.
So,
I've never heard that name in my life.
So he comes in with the bat, like, look, I found it, because he's trying to show it to some of the guys. And Ross is like, I'll take that from you, Dad. And he just snatches it right out of his hand and runs out of the scene.
I love how Ross is
And,
just like playing interference this whole time. It is so great.
He's working hard.
Yes.
He is working hard.
And as Jack is seeing what's happening and it's all registering for him, then the timing of the group of people busting into the kitchen singing happy birthday is on point. It's so good.
Okay, so now we're going to jump into our IMDb rankings, where we take a look at what you, the people, have voted on IMDb. Each of these episodes, all the episodes are rated 1 to 10, 10 being the high, 1 being the lowest. We have run into, what is it? The highest episode has been an 8.9, and the lowest to date, 7.6. I have not looked at the ratings, neither has Amanda, but let's start with, which one is your favorite?
Oh, no doubt my favorite is the one that we just discussed, episode 16, where Joey moves out. Just because of that whole final sequence, honestly, like Richard being at Monica and Ross's parents' house for the party. It was just so many awesome lines, and I love that. I love the whole sequence also at the beginning between Joey and Chandler with the toothbrush and that back and forth. And yeah, I mean, the tattoo part, that was kind of like a little bit of a throwaway segment, but still good. And yeah, that one was my favorite out of these 4. How about you?
I'm really surprised you picked that one, to be honest with you. I love the scene at the party, like we just talked about how smooth it was and everything. Love that sequence. Actually love the entire party. Any scene that happened at the party was very good. But I'm going to take the one with the prom video. The one with the prom video is,
it's true.
Like I said, that to me is quintessential Friends. The lobster, the bracelets, the woman repeller,
yeah.
Oh, I even wrote this down too. Like when Jack comes in and Ross comes in and he just out of nowhere, a woman in my office is a lesbian. Like it's the little lines where he's just like mentioning random stuff. The bracelet buddies, the prom video though.
Yeah.
Right? The whole prom video, getting the flashbacks, getting Ross like trying to hide in the corner, like almost shriveled up, and Rachel walking across the room slowly and
it's a classic scene. Yeah.
It is Friends.
Yeah.
It is Friends. And so I wouldn't be shocked if the one with the prom video is a 9. Like it might be one of the highest rated by the people. It's certainly my favorite.
I love that like how it ends, but I don't know. It's just something about, I have always cracked up so much during this party scene where they're telling,
I don't disagree with you.
Where they're telling the parents I love the awkwardness of it all, and it's just great.
To me, it's funny because I think we are again saying this was our favorite scene and it was the funniest section. This is the most like emotionally connected scene though, the prom video.
Yeah.
Which of those do you like? And usually I feel like I will always lean towards funny. But if it's a real, like, maybe get a tear out of your eye scene, okay. I'm paying attention now.
All right.
So that one, I didn't say it did. It gets a little dusty in my house. It's a little bit dusty.
It's all right. It's
always
all right.
At that time.
Yeah.
It also gets dusty at the very end,
Well,
but
yeah, for sure.
But so if I was going to do a quick rank, I think I would do the prom video. I think I'm actually going to do Super Bowl Part 2, then Joey moves out, then the one where Ross and Rachel, because as much as I like the scene with Dr. Burke, and I think it's great, if you're going to give me the girls fighting over Van Damme and Susie Underpants in the same episode, I'm taking that one.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We are very divided on this one because the two
Okay.
at the
Okay.
bottom for me, the Van Damme part, as much as I like them
I
fighting,
understand it.
I feel like that one is actually like, I don't know, out of these four, I had that one at the bottom with
I get it. I
the
do
where
get
Ross
it.
and Rachel, and I'm kind of going back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel like when I do put those side by side though, the one where Ross and Rachel, and Joey juices up the living room and they go on
Listen,
their first date. It's, you definitely have the moment where they have their first date. I feel like that was kind of the purpose of that entire episode, and everything else was a little bit of a filler. I mean, you also do though have
you get the
Monica
introduction of
meeting,
Richard Burke.
right? Monica
Yeah.
meeting Dr. Burke, which, again, and I love that whole part where she like has all the eye drops. They're free. Like that's definitely is my
So
favorite part of
so
that one. But I would say, I don't
so
know.
you're going Joey moves out first, and you're going
And then after
are you
that,
going prom video
after
second?
that prom video, and then I am saying final answer where Ross and Rachel, after that, and then I don't know. I feel like Jean-Claude Van
Oh
Damme is at the
boy.
bottom. I don't know.
Okay, I will say I've said it already in this episode, but like I don't disagree. Jean-Claude Van Damme, those scenes, and maybe even a couple others when
Yeah.
they're on the set, it just doesn't feel like
It's
Friends.
because
It's just
they were
weird. Is it the
pushing.
way that it's shot? I
I
don't
think it's
know.
because really those Super Bowl episodes were more about featuring celebrities than anything.
That's it
That's really what it was.
for
And so I
sure.
felt like the whole Friends motif, like how we usually roll through an episode, it kind of got lost, I would say. So the whole
It gets
feeling,
jumbled.
yeah, it's just not the same. But
But I'll tell you what, the flick battle
oh my God, you're
and
right.
Susie
Yeah, listen, they're all
Underpants in the
good. They're all
bathroom
good.
with the guys, and like, come
All
on,
right. So
that is
what do the people say?
okay. Okay. Let's find out what the people said. Okay. So, here's the funniest thing. I've got the rankings right up here. And I'm just going to say this. There are no bad options.
Yeah.
These are all very highly rated, which maybe is why we're trying to figure out the best way to rank
Yeah, they're all good.
them. So the lowest rated one is an 8.5. Let's put it like that. Okay. The lowest rated one is an 8.5. 8.9 was the high.
Yeah.
That was the high coming into this. So 8.5 is the one where Joey moves out.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, people didn't like
Wow.
that. I mean, listen, the Joey moving out part, it's like the Van Damme part.
Wow.
It's not great.
That was my favorite, guys. That was my favorite.
So then the one after the Super Bowl part 2, 8.6, second. The one where Ross and Rachel, 8.7. Ultimately second. I disagree harshly with
Right.
that. I don't even know that I would have given that one an 8, but it is what it is. But as stated, the one with the prom video, 9.3.
Yeah.
Easily the top episode that we've seen in Friends to date, and I don't blame that reaction.
Yeah, it's true. It's because that's such a pivotal moment for Ross and Rachel, and at the time too, that's what everyone is waiting for is, Rachel to end up kissing Ross, and the whole show ends up really centering around them. So that does make sense to me.
It's like the official real kickoff, and you get the Lobsters. It's just so good. Like that episode was easily my favorite to watch. But you and I were talking off the air a while ago, and you were saying you think these next few seasons are just going to be like ranging in bangers.
Yeah, my favorites. I feel like coming up seasons 3 through 5 are just nonstop. The comedy gold, so funny. I'm really excited, especially this next group of episodes, the next 4 that we're going to be talking about. I hope you guys are watching along with us because they are so funny and just make me crack up every time I watch it, no matter what. Yeah, definitely join us on that, and we look forward to hearing from you. And don't forget, as we're winding down this episode, we would love it if you guys, any any time that you share, even with one friend, about this show just is so appreciated from us, and we just really thank you for listening.
Absolutely. Anything you guys can do, you share it, you like it, send it to a friend. That would be awesome. We really appreciate those of you who are listening. And with that, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, as well as finding us on Instagram, finding us on YouTube Shorts. Please like and share those, subscribe, and follow. Please check out our website, werunonreruns.com, and feel free to get involved each week by asking us questions on werunonreruns@gmail.com. For Amanda, this is Eric. Have a great week, and we will see you Wednesday for Stranger Things episode 2.
So excited for that. All right, see you later, guys.